Hello, students. Hello,
Hello,
teacher.
teacher.
Carbon is a component of organic matter, and it is also one of the most important chemical elements in plants. Besides carbon, what other chemical elements are present in plants? Let's discuss. What are the essential nutrients for plants? Students, when you dry a fresh plant, you will see that the weight of the plant body has become lighter. What is the part of the body that is lost? Is it water? Yes, it is water. So what elements are present in the plant body? Hydrogen and oxygen. Yes, water is composed of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So the chemical elements in plants also contain hydrogen and oxygen. In addition, scientists have analyzed the gases released by burning plants and the ash left behind by burning and found that there are more than 70 chemical elements in plants, and almost all the elements found in nature can be found in plants.
Wow. Are all the chemical elements necessary for the growth of plants?
No, these 70 chemical elements are not necessary for plant growth and development because the absorption of chemical elements by plants is not only determined by their nutritional characteristics, but also by environmental conditions. Just like we humans, we don't need toxic substances, but because they are present in the environment, we passively absorb them into our bodies. And so do plants. Therefore, it's not enough to analyze the chemical composition of plants, but we must also distinguish which elements are essential and which are not. Only then can we target fertilization and nutrition to plants. Oh, so that's how it works. Teacher, how can we determine which nutrients are essential and which are not? To determine whether an element is necessary for plant growth, the following three criteria must be met. 1. The element is indispensable to complete the plant's life cycle, and if it is lacking, the plant cannot develop normally. 2. The deficiency of the element is a specific deficiency among plants, which cannot be replaced by other chemical elements and can only be restored and prevented by supplementation. 3. It has a direct effect on plant nutrition rather than an indirect effect due to its improvement of plant living conditions. According to these three criteria, some elements are systematically subtracted from the plant's ash in the nutrient solution by means of nutrient incubation. And if the plant fails to grow and develop normally, the subtracted elements prove to be necessary. So far, 16 nutrients have been identified as essential for plant growth and development. They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, boron, manganese, molybdenum, zinc, copper, iron, chlorine.
Teacher, do plants need the same amount of these 16 essential nutrients?
No. The 16 essential elements can be divided into major and minor elements depending on the amount they are needed by plants. Macronutrients usually account for a few tens to a few thousands of the plant's dry matter. They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur. The content of trace elements is only a few parts per thousand of dry matter mass or less. They are boron, manganese, molybdenum, zinc, copper, iron, chlorine. Teacher, is it true that major elements are more important for plants, trace elements are less important and less important? That's not true. It's because whether a certain element is necessary for plant growth is not determined by the amount of it in the plant, but by the nutritional role it plays in the plant. The essential nutrients are equally important in the plant, regardless of their quantity, and the specific function of any one nutrient cannot be replaced by another.
Teacher, are all 16 nutrients absorbed by plants through the soil?
No, they are not. From the source, Three elements, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, come from air and water, while the other 13 elements come from the soil. And bean plants can fix a certain amount of nitrogen in the air. Therefore, soil nutrient status has a direct impact on crop growth and yield formation. The three nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are often supplemented by fertilizer because they are needed in large quantities by plants and are not present in the soil. Okay, through today's study, we have learned about the types of essential plant nutrients and the criteria for determining them, as well as the classification of essential plant nutrients and their sources. So, what are the functions of essential plant nutrients in plants? What are the symptoms that occur when plants are deficient? In the next lesson, we will discuss these questions together.